Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Dante Displays back with another video, and today I'm going to be giving you a tour of my entire Star Wars 6-inch action figure collection, primarily made up of Black Series figures with some Mafex and S.H.Figuarts sprinkled in. I have my figures grouped by the media they're from. So here on this side, I have my 3 original trilogy displays. And then below them, I have 2 Disney Plus displays. I have 3 video game displays. And then I've got 2 Clone Wars displays. I have a Star Wars Rebels display. I have my 3 prequel trilogy displays. And lastly, I have my Trooper display, which is where we'll start. So up here on top of my shelf, I just have a bunch of random troopers that have no other place in my display, like Captain Fordo here from 2003 Clone Wars, which I'm a big fan of, but I don't have a dedicated display to, so here he is. I also have Boss from Republic Commando. I have a Shore Trooper, Commander Fox. I have an Imperial Rocket Trooper from Rebels, a Death Watch Mandalorian. I have a Shadow Trooper from the Imperial Shadow Squadron set. Love the look of this figure. I also have Bo-Katan, which used to be on my Mandalorian display, but I have since taken her off. I didn't want to completely get rid of her though, so I did just throw her up here. Then I have my Phase 2 Captain Rex, which used to be on my Clone Wars display, but since getting the Phase 1 Captain Rex, which is my preferred look, he has since moved up here. But that is how they all look together. Moving down, we have the Phantom Menace display. Front and center, we have the S.H.Figuarts Darth Maul with the Black Series cloak, because I think the S.H.Figuarts is overall the better figure, especially the head sculpt. I think that looks amazing. But I really did like this cloak from the Black Series version, so I put this cloak on him and I think it looks really good. And then we have the Black Series Qui-Gon Jinn and Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi from the 3-pack. And flanking them, we have some CIS representation with the Droideka, which looks awesome, as well as the standard B1 battle droid that I've weathered myself, since this was the one from the Phase 2 Clone Trooper Army Builder pack, so it came with 0 paint on it, so I did do a little bit of weathering on him. And then on the other side, we have the Stap with another weathered, custom weathered battle droid, which is chasing Jar Jar Binks in the Naboo swamps. And that'll do it for the Phantom Menace display. Very simple display, not too many figures on it, but I do really enjoy the look of this. The only figure I really still want from the Phantom Menace is a red dress Queen Amidala, and I'd put her in the place of this battle droid, and that'll just tie a bow on this display for me. But moving down, we have the Attack of the Clones display, which I've recently upgraded with some S.H.Figuarts figures, starting with Yoda. I did get this figure recently, and I previously had the Black Series prequel Yoda, but I ended up selling it because I did like this one a little bit more. I've got him with the cane. And then I also upgraded my Mace Windu from the Black Series version to the SHF. Honestly, both figures are great, but I just liked the expression in this one a little bit more. Although the Black Series also has a fantastic likeness. Then we have Ki-Adi-Mundi, the Black Series. Great figure. We've got Aayla Secura, Kit Fisto, and to wrap it up for the good guys, we have a Phase 1 Clone Trooper on the 2023 body. Really awesome figure. And then moving over to the other side, we have the Super Battle Droid, one of the best Black Series figures ever made. We've got him with the blast effect. Then we have the S.H.Figuarts Jango Fett, since the Black Series one is horrible. Although I will say this one isn't amazing either. It looks really good, but it's not the most, it's just not the best figure. And finally we have Count Dooku, another really good Black Series figure. And that'll do it for the Attack of the Clones display. As you can see, I don't have Anakin, Obi-Wan, or Padme, and that's because I didn't really like Anakin in this movie, so I just skipped him, honestly. I thought all these characters were a lot cooler. And then we have the Revenge of the Sith display, which has recently gotten a lot of new figures. Start in the center. We have Darth Sidious. And in front of him we have the S.H.Figuarts Obi-Wan Kenobi with a custom head sculpt on him. Shout out to Griffin from the Out of the Basement Discord who hooked me up with this figure. The head sculpt looks very good. I believe it's a shrunken down Hot Toys head sculpt, but I could be wrong. And then we have the new S.H.Figuarts Ahsoka Anakin, although it's basically just a Revenge of the Sith Anakin. And I have the Qui-Gon Jinn cloak on him because I really like that Jedi Temple March look. And then beside him we have some clone troopers. Have to have the 501st next to him just to recreate that scene. And then we also have Commander Bly and Commander Gree, all on the old clone trooper body, which I still think looks the best, but obviously doesn't pose well, and it has that problem with the knees where it bows inward, which is the biggest flaw in my opinion. Then moving over, we have Commander Cody, which is actually on the new clone trooper body. This is the recent retro card back release, which I actually have here on the wall. I just threw the old Cody in there. So this is the new body, Commander Cody, with the old head, because it's smaller and more in line with my other clones. So I do like the look of that. Love the hologram piece he comes with. Then we have the Magna Guard, which is technically a clone trooper. I mean, not a clone trooper. Technically a Clone Wars figure, but this Magna Guard did show up in Revenge of the Sith, so I'm cool with him being here. And finally, we have the Black Series General Grievous, which I like, but it's obviously not the best. It has a ton of problems. So I'm very excited that S.H.Figuarts is finally releasing theirs. Definitely going to replace this one with that one when it comes out. But yeah, that'll do it for the Revenge of the Sith display. And that's how all three prequel movie shelves look together. Then moving along, we have the Clone Wars displays. I have two Clone Wars displays. I have a heroes and a villains. Starting with the heroes displays, we have the old Anakin Skywalker with the hard goods plastic tunic, and he has a custom head sculpt that I also got from Griffin in the Out of the Basement Discord. I believe this is the Hot Toys head shrunken down as well, but I could be wrong. Then I have Ahsoka, the Black Series, amazing figure. Same thing with Obi-Wan Kenobi, one of the best Black Series figures, in my opinion. Then we have Captain Rex and ARC Trooper 5s. This is the Phase 1 Captain Rex I was talking about. Absolutely love this figure. Phase 1 Rex, I always remember him much more than the Phase 2 from the show for some reason. And then also 5s, with his helmet off, looking pretty cool. And then on the other side we have Plo Koon and Clone Commander Wolf, which were super cool in the Clone Wars. Some of my favorite characters, especially Plo Koon. Then for the villains, we've got a lot more figures. Starting in the center, we have Asajj Ventress. Then we've got some bounty hunters. We've got Cad Bane, Aura Singh, Bosk, who did show up in the Clone Wars a couple times, so I just threw him down here. And then we also have Hondo Ohnaka, which one of my favorite Star Wars characters. Love him in the Clone Wars and in Star Wars Rebels. And then on the other side, we have some heavy hitters with the Clone Wars Darth Maul, as well as Savage Opress, my newest figure. Great figure. Looks really, really cool next to his brother. Then we've got Pre Vizsla, which looks pretty cool, although he's on that old Jango Fett body, which sucks. He looks kind of fat and is proportioned like a gorilla, but the design is still really cool. And he's obviously necessary. And then we have the Commando Droid, which is also a pretty recent pickup. Really like this thing. And that'll do it for the Clone Wars displays. And then the last display on this shelf is my Star Wars Rebels display. Got the main Phoenix Squadron crew in the middle. These are the season 1 and 2 looks. We've got Ezra, Kanan, Hera. Then we have Zeb and Chopper. And last but not least, or maybe least because this figure sucks, Sabine. Now these figures are super outdated. All of them really except for Zeb and Chopper, I would say. So I really hope they remake them all in their season 3 and 4 looks so I can just replace these guys. I also have Grand Admiral Thrawn and an SHF Stormtrooper, and I specifically got this one, which is the first release of the S.H.F. Stormtrooper, because in my opinion this goofy helmet looks a lot like the one in Star Wars Rebels. So yeah, so it's like a specific to Star Wars Rebels Stormtrooper for me, so I really like that. And then on the other side we have Darth Vader and Ahsoka. Now just like the Stormtrooper, I really wish this Vader was specific to Star Wars Rebels, because I think that would look super cool. Like if at least just the head sculpt looked like the Ralph McQuarrie artwork, I think that would be very cool. And all they have to do is repaint the blue one that they already made, so I mean, I'd pick it up, you know. But that'll do it for the Rebels display. The next shelf is my video game shelf. So I have Force Unleashed here at the bottom. In the middle we have Starkiller electrocuting this plain Stormtrooper. I've got him back there with his lightsaber behind the back. Iconic Starkiller pose. And then he's flanked by just some stormtroopers from the game. So we have the Incinerator Trooper here. We have a regular Stormtrooper. And we have the Shadow Stormtrooper, as well as the Stormtrooper Commander. And that's what they all look like. And then moving up, we have my Knights of the Old Republic display with a little bit of Shadows of the Empire as well. Front and center we have Darth Revan. And he has Bastila and Darth Malak to his sides. I also have Darth Nihilus on the Kylo Ren body. And Prince Shizor, which looks awesome. Great figure. Can't wait to get Dash Rendar to put with him. And then the last display on this shelf is my Jedi Fallen Order display. I have Cal Kestis in the middle with BD1, and he's flanked by a Purge Trooper as well as Second Sister. And some grunts from the game as well. So we have the Flame Trooper and one of the Scout Troopers. And moving on to my last shelf, we'll start with my Disney Plus displays. I only have Andor and The Mandalorian, since those are the only two Disney Plus shows I really care about. I'll start here with Andor. I've got Cassian over here leading the rebellion. with Saw Gerrera and Luthen Rail. And then for some Empire representation, I have Dedra Meero, one of the most interesting characters of the show. And she's flanked by 2 Death Troopers, as seen in that finale episode. And moving on to The Mandalorian, I'll start with the Mafex 2.0 Mandalorian, which is one of the best figures out of all of my displays. Comes with a ton of super useful accessories, like this Grogu in the pouch. And he just looks really, really good. And he's backed up by Cara Dune. And then on the other side, I have the Season 1 Mando look with the pre-Beskar armor. And he's got the other Grogu that comes with the Mafex 2.0 Mando, because that figure actually comes with 2 Grogus. And he's with the Mafex IG-11, which is a fantastic figure. Love the way he looks. And then in the middle we have Moff Gideon in his Season 1 armor with the Darksaber from the Mafex 2.0 Mando, because it looks much better than the one he comes with. And he's flanked by 2 Dark Troopers. And that'll do it for the Disney Plus displays, which leaves only the original trilogy, which are some of my favorite displays. For the original trilogy, we'll actually start at the top with my A New Hope display, which is probably my display with the highest number of imports on it. I have the S.H.Figuarts Farm Boy Luke Skywalker, which was one of the first imports I bought. Amazing figure. Then I have the Black Series Leia, since I actually think she looks a little bit better than the S.H.Figuarts. Definitely worth it for the price. I have the absolutely amazing Peak Fire S.H.Figuarts C-3PO and R2-D2, which are definitely the best versions in 6-inch scale. They just look stunning. The vac metal paint on this C-3PO is just incredible. And R2 also looks amazing. Then I have the S.H.Figuarts Old Ben Kenobi. Love the alternate head sculpt for him with the eyes closed. I've got the Black Series Chewbacca, since I actually don't really love the look of the S.H.Figuarts one, but I am hoping to replace this with the new Black Series Chewbacca that's coming out soon. And next to Chewbacca, you gotta have Han Solo. This is the new updated S.H.Figuarts Han Solo, which has one of the best likenesses I've ever seen. Looks just like Harrison Ford. And next to him, I've got a Cantina Band member, as well as a Jawa. And then on the other side, I have a Black Series Tusken Raider and the original Black Series Sand Trooper. And that'll do it for A New Hope. Moving down, we have Empire Strikes Back. In the middle here, I've got like a Hoth display with the Snowspeeder Luke Skywalker and a Hoth Rebel soldier, as well as a Snow Trooper and General Veers. And finally, the probe droid, which is so cool. And I really like this stand it comes with. Fits in really well with my shelf. Then I have a little Dagobah section with another Luke Skywalker in his Dagobah Jedi training outfit. I love the alternate hands this figure comes with, so you can really make it look like he's using the Force. I also have the Yoda that he comes with. And then on the other side, I have a Bespin display with the Mafex Boba Fett. This is specifically the one from Empire Strikes Back. I think this was actually the first import, Star Wars import I bought before the Farm Boy Luke. This figure is incredible. Highly recommend you pick it up, especially if you can find it for like 30-40 bucks, which is what this guy was going for a time. And with Boba, I have the Han Solo in Carbonite, as well as Lando Calrissian. And that'll do it for the Empire Strikes Back display, which leaves the Return of the Jedi display. I'll start over here with the Endor section. We've got the Scout Trooper on his speeder bike. One of the first Black Series items I bought. I just think this looks so cool. I just love the design of the Scout Trooper and the speeder bike. And the colors too. Then we have Wicket for some Ewok representation. And finally a Endor Rebel, specifically the Captain Rex variant. Then in the middle we have a Jabba's Palace display with Jabba himself, obviously, taking a hit of that hookah. And he's on this 3D printed dais, I believe. Well, I got this on eBay, but it's a Landspeeder Luke file. And I weathered it up because it did come just, completely without paint. So I did weather it up a little bit. I also have Salacious B. Crumb taking a drink, and Bib Fortuna as well. And then finally, for Return of the Jedi, I've got a kind of final duel scene with Luke Skywalker in his Jedi Knight outfit, as well as Darth Vader, and the Emperor on a Landspeeder Luke throne. Same thing as this dais. It's a Landspeeder Luke file that I bought off of eBay from one of his sellers. But yeah, I have the Archive Emperor on that throne. Really like the way I was able to get the hood over the eyes. And that will do it for the original trilogy. And that's how they all look together one last time. And then the last thing I have to show is some in-box stuff. I have the Darth Maul and Sith Speeder in box, just because the presentation is so good on this thing, and I really like the Phantom Menace packaging. And I also have some retro carded stuff here with the new Commander Cody on the Revenge of the Sith card back. I also have the Clone Wars Mace Windu on the 2003 Clone Wars card back. And last but not least, I have the Jar Jar Binks on the Phantom Menace card back. And I like this because it's like a progression from episode 1 to, you know, kind of episode 2 era, kind of, and then episode 3. But that'll do it for my entire Star Wars 6-inch collection. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for sticking to the end, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.